right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on Antiga Shipyard at the 2 o'clock position. We have MorroW spawning as our purple Zerg player, and his opponent over at the 8 o'clock position. He is our red Taran. That is Apocalypse. So game number 1 now going to be played cross positions here with a TVZ, and this is a matchup that MorroW knows extremely well, given that he was a top-level Taran for a long time.
Yes, and you know, he's also a top Zerg as well, so he understands the matchup from both sides, which gives him a very unique perspective. One thing I've noticed when he's playing Taran is he does a lot of little things that are so important in the matchup that a lot of people don't really think about. Like, he always walls the top of his ramp. He always has a depot wall there. He always full walls his entire natural with depots all the way across. He never misses that. It doesn't matter what map it is. If it's a screen wide long, he'll find a way to plug that up with depots and racks and other kind of fodder just to have that wall.
And on the flip side as well, when he's playing Zerg, he never dies to Hellions. He knows the exact timing. He never dies to early pressure or anything.
He always SimCities very well as Zerg, too. He uses Evo Chambers and a Roach Warren.
Oh, yeah. Oftentimes you'll see Antiga is actually a great map for this. He'll start one creep tumor right here. It'll spread it out to the front, and you're more than likely going to see Spinecrawler, Queen, Evolution Chamber right there. So we can run units out the front, but anything that tries to come through is just flat out destroyed.
Yeah, and you know, he also understands from the Taran perspective. We've seen him do crazy builds like the double factory, double reactor.
Yeah, definitely.
20 Hellion push, things of that nature. Like, he's not afraid to gamble. He's not afraid to take risks. Now, Apocalypse is a very interesting choice here for QIM. You know, a lot's riding on this. This is a very important match for them. So this Apocalypse guy must be really talented.
Yeah, certainly.
There's no doubt about it. And for them to throw him out first, I'm very curious to see what he has in store for us, what his play style is. I mean, we know nothing about this guy.
No, I don't have a clue. I apologize. I have not watched a single game from him.
Neither.
Like I said, I did some Googling before this to see, you know, who he was and where he came from and stuff like that, but haven't had too much time to actually watch his playstyle. I generally know that in TVZ he likes slower mech pushes towards the end of the game, but
and generally, you know, praise Liquipedia. It almost always has some kind of information. I mean, it's so well made and it's updated on a regular basis.
I do know that he has tried to qualify for Code A a couple of times. I looked at his results. Unfortunately, he came up against OGS Finn in the first round of the qualifier, or 4GG, if you guys know him better by that name. So, yeah, I mean, he certainly had his work cut out for him when he's moved into those. Looks like he is going to go after a Reactor Hellion Expand, though. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Of course, MorroW, he did decide to go after a quick hatch there. His spawning pool is done, but of course he's going after a super late gas so he can get out double queen and a great economy.
Has Nada taken a back seat for a little bit in StarCraft 2?
Nada just claimed a Code S spot last night.
Oh, did he?
He actually won his up and down, so he got
a
Code S
so
spot.
much for that.
No, you were totally right.
Yeah, he was kind of out of the limelight.
He was out of the loop. I'm actually so happy for him, though, because he did take a Code S spot last night.
He's such a good player. He's amazing. And that's awesome, because now 4GG and Nada are both going to be on the same team and Code S.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unreal, and they're both a rockin' Taran, so...
And looks like MorroW going for early Roach Horn now. But yeah, I'm glad to see the Legends doing well. HG and I actually asked, you know, who you thought of the current Brood War champions that are still active, still playing, still dominating the Brood War scene right now, who you think is going to switch over. There was some speculation on r/StarCraft as a guy with the name KT Flash has like a 90% win rate in Grandmaster at the moment on the Chinese server, but it's got to be a Smurf off of a top Chinese player.
Absolutely. So. Honestly, and we have two two command centers coming up for Apocalypse here. I really like this opener from him. Reactor Hellion. He has the tech lab on the racks just in case he needs to get a Marauder or two to cover himself for the Roaches. He's using the Hellions for map control, and he has two command centers coming up very early on in this game, so that macro orbital is going to pay for itself. And unless he receives some early pressure from MorroW, which it looks like MorroW has no intention of doing at this point, he's just droning up behind this. And like you said, MorroW at the front, starting to establish that already, has the two queens there. Seems that he doesn't need the SimCity.
Or Spinecrawlers. He actually... now, yes, he lost some resources by committing over to earlier Roaches, but by putting up those Roaches...
Saved the two drones.
Precisely.
Save the money on the Evo Chamber and the Spinecrawler.
Yeah,
and that's pays for itself, I think. And you're just extra safe. You have the Roach tech. if you scout some kind of crazy amount of Hellions out on the field, if you see 8 Hellions, and look at the creep spread from MorroW already, designating 2 queens to strict tumor detail.
Yeah.
Usually you'll see 1. Does he even have a queen on his... Does he have 4 queens right now, or is he using 3?
He has 4.
Okay, he has 4 queens. Wow, I actually really like that.
Yeah.
I think it's super solid.
You know, it goes back to something that a lot of top analysts and stuff like that were talking about for a good period of time, which was you don't want to invest in in static defenses unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And looks like these creep tumors are starting to go down. We'll see if he targets his own Hellions here. No, he just throws down a scan, and he's going to undo so much.
Yeah, this
MorroW
hurts.
Just did.
Yeah, MorroW just spent a lot of time putting up all those tumors, guys, and he just lost a vast majority of his creep tumor spread, and that just hurts because he's been spending a lot of his APM and his time and his effort getting that creep spread going.
Certainly.
But, I mean, it's not the end of the world, that's for sure. And we do have Apocalypse relatively safe to Roaches here. He has 2 Marauders in a bunker, and he's using the Hellions just to keep MorroW bottled up. But his Hellions are trapped inside the 3rd here. Might have been a little bit of a mistake on his part. He is going to lose 1. Maybe 2.
No, doesn't quite get a second one there, but
and he left 1 at the 3rd. I wonder what that was for.
Interesting. Well, it's a
he
good
probably knew it was
going to
die.
One, so it's a good delayed scout. He, if anything weird, totally out of the ordinary happens, he's got a scout there. Like you said,
I actually really
he was
like
going to
that.
die anyway. So
I actually really like that.
Yeah, good decision making out of Apocalypse right now. Let's see if MorroW. Yeah, he did pick up on the macro CC as well, so he knows exactly what his opponent's infrastructure is. He is throwing up that 3rd base at the same time that he's going to a macro hatch himself.
Wow, Apocalypse's clean thus far is very very clean thus far. It's impressive. He's taking up to tanks quickly. He'll be relatively safe here. I think he might be taking his 3rd a little bit prematurely here, and it will get scouted by. Is that an Overlord that MorroW has in position?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to delay the 3rd a little bit here. Good job by MorroW right there,
especially dropping down the creep as well. So
and is he pushing outright? Yeah, I think he unloaded his. Yeah, okay, so he is going to finish Stim here in just a second.
This is a Bioforce with a conventional Marine tank follow-up behind this. So this is specifically a 3-tiered attack.
And he's forcing a ton of unit production right now. MorroW just built about 30 Lings. He's making Banelings. He's investing a lot in army right now, and oh my god, he's gonna stim and actually go for this. He brings the weakened Hellion out of the corner there, but it goes down immediately, and now I don't know if MorroW has enough. The Banelings are gonna come in. He needs to snipe all those down. Can he get them?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Enough damage has been done by those Banelings that MorroW will be able to clean this up, but I think that attack paid for itself. Enforcing production, all the Banelings that he killed, the tumors he killed as well.
I don't know. I think he may have overcommitted a little bit though, because MorroW has actually been able to macro behind this and produce. He's got his Spire Tech done. He's got enough to put up 7 or soon to be 8 Mutalisks here at the same time in just a second, and didn't have any of his economy threatened as well. Yes, he forced a lot of units out of there. I don't know though. It's certainly I think MorroW is coming out of this pretty well. Though.
I feel the important thing there for Apocalypse was that he didn't lose any tanks.
Very true.
He lost some Marauders, some Marines, and some Hellions, but all of that is expendable. He killed a lot of creep tumors, and he killed a lot of army. I think he traded pretty well right there.
Definitely.
And now that he has combat shield, he should be able to hold off these mutas, but is he ready in the mineral lines at his main and his 3rd for these mutas? No, not at the 3rd, not at the natural, and not at the main.
Does he even have an engineering?
No, he does.
Okay, there it is, yeah.
He has a turret at the front, actually. Perhaps for burrowed roaches or burrowed infestors with the,
all the way.
The sensor tower.
Okay. So, which is actually a clever place to sit because this is actually a pretty tight choke point that actually watches 3 bases.
And he's attacking again here with hardly anything. This is a very risky maneuver by Apocalypse right here. I mean, he has 4 tanks, but they're largely undefended. It looks like he's going to drop and go in at the same time, but this drop is just going to get shut down almost immediately here. The medevac will go down right away. A few mutas will follow suit, but that drop was cleaned up very easily.
Oh, nice transfuse out of MorroW as well, and it looks like Apocalypse is just going to turn around. MorroW actually taking his 4th and 5th bases at the same time. Unfortunately, he spread out his Overlords once they finished up Pneumatized Carapace, and he ended up losing quite a few of them there, so he was supply block, produces quite a bit more. A lot of Banelings actually morphing in with +2 weapons.
Apocalypse is being so cavalier with his army right now. I mean, he's just roaming around the map unsieged with a very tank-heavy army. I don't think he has the Marines, really, to win a huge outright engagement right now. And Baneling's speed is done. 1-1 is complete, and it looks like MorroW's actually not going to make his move. He's thinking about it. He might just sacrifice this base altogether.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to have to. I mean, there was just way too much DPS there from all these units.
Yeah, Apocalypse actually, you know, at this point in the game, is doing a pretty fantastic job on macro, and he's denied the 5th. But it looks like MorroW's going to catch him unsieged here, fully unsieged. Oh my goodness. He's going to have to micro his heart out. All the tanks will go down to the Mutalisks.
Oh my god, those Banelings actually got some pretty great hits on the bio as well. Just a couple of tanks left up now, and they're all going to fall down.
Wait,
one left.
Turn around.
Get that last hit. There it is.
Oh. So all of the tanks get cleaned up right there. Great engagement for MorroW. Who cares if he loses his army?
And he took out almost all the anti-air in addition, so the only anti-air that's left is a little bit of static forces. But of course, we do have +1 Carapace actually coming up instead of +2 weapons, and 8 more Mutas hitting the field in addition to the 7 that are already there. Add on to that the fact that his upgrades for his ground units are actually very good at the moment.
2-2 is on the way. 2 weapons is actually about to finish for melee, and 2 armor. But that's a really good point you made, that he cleaned up a majority of the anti-air there, took out almost all the Marines, and then immediately we see MorroW queue up another 8 Mutalisks. So I think realizing that he whittled down the Marine count considerably, and there's no Thors out, so it's just pure, oh my goodness.
He's got to watch out there. Loses 1 Muta right away, but then backs up with the rest.
So, but like we said, all the tanks gone. He's working with pure bio right now. Apocalypse just being way too aggressive is going to get fully surrounded out in the midfield. Huge mistake on his part right there. And I think MorroW is in full control of this game, firm control of this game right now.
I definitely agree with you. I really also agree with you in the fact that I think the early game decision-making out of Apocalypse was great, but now he's just been way too over-aggressive. He's really extended himself.
Couldn't agree with you more. And you know, that's one of the main marked differences you'll see between Apocalypse and someone like an MVP or an MMA. Their pushes are so slow and meticulous, they almost never get caught with their tanks unsieged. And if they do, it's a portion of their tanks. It's never the entire tank line. You'll never see them fully unsiege and siege 8 tanks and start attack moving across mid with unsieged tanks. I mean, it's just too risky. And now MorroW maxed, has great upgrades. He's starting to bank quite a few resources, shuts down another drop here that will do absolutely nothing. So that's the second drop that's just been completely annihilated. And I think Apocalypse is in a really bad spot.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It looks like he's trying to float over a command center here over to the gold. That's going to be in vain, though. There's just way too much here for MorroW, and he's already banked so many resources. 3,200, 1,400 in the bank, so he can just go ahead and remax his army over and over again. And there's only 1 tank.
Yeah. Just not really sure. And he's already making the transition to Vikings, oddly enough. Looks like he's worried about Broodlords, but his timing on the Broodlord transition is just a little bit off. Hive isn't even done yet for MorroW, let alone starting his Greater Spire.
You've got to deal with the
Mutas first.
Bailing before you can decide to go ahead and attack Broodlords.
I don't think he can afford, if you look at his resources right now, I mean, he's just absolutely starved. I don't think he can afford Viking production right now. It's a good thing that he's continuing with the upgrades, though. We do have Weapons 3, Armor 2 about to finish.
Agreed, yeah.
So, Apocalypse doing all right in the upgrade field, but MorroW's on 5 base right now.
Yes.
He got his 5th back up. He could take a 6th.
Complete map control right now.
Total map dominance. His creep is everywhere. And, you know, he can start to shut down this this gold. He could even just bomb the PF if he wanted. He can afford to do that right now.
You're definitely right.
And I think he might just do that right here. There's no tanks.
Oh,
the PF's going to go down. He's not going to cancel and lift. Oh, he does cancel and lift. Very well done, actually, by Apocalypse if he doesn't lose it, but I think he will to the Mutalisks.
I think he's going to lose the rest of his army at the same time. He's not reinforcing with all that much right now. The Thor's going to go down, and the Zerglings are just starting to stream in at the moment. The command center has fallen, and the second Thor at the back is going to go down. There are no tanks coming in at all, just mass 9 Marines at a time. They are well upgraded, yes, but it doesn't matter when he just can't combat this many units on the field.
And there it is.
GG, and MorroW is taking game number 1 for Mouse over QIM.
是上将。